Hi everybody, look! This is the best Zoom video we've ever done. Look how realistic it looks. It looks like we're right in the room together. Obviously, things have changed here in Ontario. We are now allowed to have what we call social circles, which means we can name 10 people that are in our little circle that we're allowed to interact with. And I chose 2 other people, but they couldn't come over. So I let these guys come in now into the circle. So welcome to the circle, everybody.
Much different than your regular circle.
That's right. That's right. Welcome back. Welcome to the inner circle, as we would say. And today we're going to talk about the Netflix show Space Force. And we were all supposed to watch it, and Paul didn't.
Nobody told me I was supposed to watch it.
You kind of are. That's what we do here.
You know, a Steve Carrel, John Malkovich series finally comes out. It's on Netflix, and well, we'll tell you whether or not it was worth watching it, and if you should check it out if you haven't. Right after this. All right, well, this is another space kind of comedy now.
Parody.
Parody,
almost.
if you will. A lot of people were comparing it to the type of humor in The Office, although it's shot completely different. It's not shot like little interviews talking to each individual person.
Yeah.
But the humor is sort of along the same lines.
Is it the
as
same
The
like
Office.
like a what do you call
Like
it?
a
Documentary style?
No, it's a show.
No, it's a show.
And each episode definitely leads into the next episode.
Yes.
John Malkovich plays the lead scientist.
Yeah, I love John Malkovich.
And I really liked him in this role.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he makes, to me, he made the show more than any of the other people in the show, even more than Steve Carell. I like Steve Carell. His character is kind of stuffy. He's a military guy all the way, so he has a hard time interacting with his daughter.
So it's not that regular awkward comedy that he does?
It's still a little bit.
It is.
But it's his character. He's not the awkward guy. He's the firm and control guy who gets into awkward situations. Like all of a sudden in the end of one episode, everything seems to have worked out, and he'll open up something and a video will be playing and he'll go, "No!" And that leads into the next one. And he doesn't say no, he says other words. It is an adult show. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
There will be some swearing once in a while on this show.
Yeah.
However, they have this little competition. It's all about getting to, boots on the moon is the saying.
So let's start off with basically here's the premise for the entire season is the Americans have developed the Space Force. This is poking fun at the current climate in the United States with them actually having a Space Force.
Yeah.
And so this is a few years down the road where they actually put the Space Force together and they start launching ships, and so they're basically trying to get to the moon and build up a little habitat base so that they can do some scientific research and that sort of thing. But China has the same plan, and they're a step ahead of the States at every angle. There's one episode where finally the Americans have set up their base on the moon, and China has set up their base both in the Sea of Tranquility, and then they have their little rovers, and the United States is driving over to sabotage the Chinese habitat, and they wave at each other because they're both going to each other's habitat to dismantle it. It's that kind of comedy, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Americans are on their way over there, and they're just driving along, and they look, and there's another buggy going by.
They all wave at each other.
And the Chinese are there in their spacesuits, and the Chinese are like that, all through this series. In all the different interactions, the Chinese are actually really funny in it, and they're the things they do. United States will do something that the Chinese don't like, and they'll do something like the flag on the moon that Neil Armstrong left. They'll drive over it with their doom buggy and things like that.
And they'll back over it.
And they'll back over it going like this, making faces at the camera because they know there's a camera there. I guess there's a camera there. I don't know why there's a camera on the moon facing the flag since no one's been on the moon.
Would you say this is like the same kind of comedy as The Orville?
Not as slapsticky.
And not as Star Trek-y.
Yeah. It's more realistic.
Okay.
And even the generals, the very beginning episode, Steve Carell's character gets promoted to a 4-star general. That's the first thing you see. He's now one of the newest 4-star generals, and he's walking into the meeting, and there's one general that hates him. There's one general that's all about women's rights and all this other stuff, and it's like one-sided personalities for sure. And then they say, well, our leader just tweeted that he wants boots on the moon, and we have to do it by this time. And he goes, oh, boy, I'd hate to be the guy in charge of that. And the person leading it's going to be you. And he says, what now? So all of a sudden, brand new general, he gets put in charge, and there's all these conflicts. But as far as the comedy is concerned, I actually enjoyed this series. I watched it all in one night.
It was fun to watch. It was a fun show.
I didn't have to turn it off and say, okay, I'll give it a couple days rest and then I'll go back to it. I was entertained enough to watch it and binge watch it.
What I really liked is that although you don't see the president, it is definitely Donald Trump-ish president. Because everything is done through tweets.
Yeah. And social media. They're contacted by social media contacts, and there's a social media representative in the Air Force Base.
Well, for every faction of the government has a social media manager that just follows them around and takes pictures and tweets things for them.
There's this whole series where they're saying, "Oh, you know what? The girlfriend or the congresswoman decides, your spacesuits need a little more flair," and they start sending them patterns for all these things that are with capes and all this other stuff. It's just like ridiculous stuff. And yeah, the social media guy is going, we gotta accept this because, it's the congresswoman.
It's coming from Flotus.
Yeah, it's coming
from Flotus. That's what it was.
And so it's just like, it's our social media stepped up.
Is it like 8, 10 episodes kind of thing?
I think it's 10 episodes. 10 episodes, yeah.
And so, I'm looking forward to another season. I really enjoyed this. I almost wish that they didn't come out and put it out in one show, like all at one time. I wish it would have been 10 episodes, like The Mandalorian came out and shows like that, so we could spread it out a little longer, so I don't have to wait another year to see this show, which is the part I don't like about releasing everything all at once. I know a lot of people love binge watching.
I like binge watch. I like it when they release everything because then I can watch it at my pace, at my schedule.
Yeah, but now if you really like this show, you have a year to wait.
That's true.
And I don't, if you space 10 weeks into say 15 weeks, well, that's 3 months.
Well, listen,
right?
Star Trek: The Next Generation had 50 episodes a year, okay, and it came out every
24.
24. Okay, so one every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, these guys don't seem to be able to make more than 8 episodes for a year.
8 to 10 tops. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, these seasons are incredibly short.
Yeah, and it's because they're making them binge watch. Like, what was the last series you saw come out on any of these streaming services that were longer than 10 episodes?
Yeah.
Like, we're now waiting for 2 shows that we really liked. We liked Upload, and now I like Space Force, and I'm, you know what? I'm watching a new one right now, Snowpiercer, based on the movie, and I'm only on episode 3 because it's coming out weekly. And I'm enjoying it. And now I'm looking forward to Monday because that's when a new episode comes out. I have something to look forward to on TV. And if you're stuck at home right now with all the stuff going on, there's no movies in the theaters, you can't get out of your house, and if you binge watch everything in one night, you have to wait another 3 to 4 weeks before something new comes on TV that you can watch.
Which is why I'm subscribed to 4 different streaming services.
Yeah, and they got our money for that. But let's just say this show was a success.
It was good.
Whether it was all at once or not, if I were you, I would definitely give it a shot. Steve Carrel, Malcolm, John Malkovich is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he's great.
In this show, like he's an environmentalist scientist, and he comes at odds with the military in this, and it's done quite well and quite funny. And yeah, I like it when he pouts in the episodes, and you'll
which
see
he does
what I mean.
quite a bit.
Which you'll see what I mean when you watch it. Well, what do you think? Give it a thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 2.
2 thumbs up from us, and Paul, I guess you're gonna have to watch it now.
I'm busy.
Well, there you go, guys. I hope you appreciate this video. Why not check out some of our other shows down below and some of our trivia contests. See if you can beat us. Well, you can beat Mark, but see if you can beat us. Sorry, Mark, I just had to throw that in.
I had a pretty good run on one of those videos.
If by run you meant 0 wins in a year, you are correct.